Hello, everyone, and welcome to the latest business chat with me, Glenys Chatterley from EBN, which you all know by now stands for Effective Business Network. There is no prize if you got that right. Today, I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to the fabulous James Bennett from Bennett Finance Limited, and we're going to find out what that's all about later. So, welcome, James. How's your day so far?
Yeah, not too bad. An early start this morning to get some work done, but yeah, very, very good. Thank you.
Fantastic. So tell me a little bit about what you do and how you got to where you are doing it, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, no. So welcome everyone. Thanks for watching. My name's James Bennett of Ben Finance. So I run a full service accounting practice. However, our speciality really lies in partnering with ambitious business owners who want to grow their business. So we do this through providing a tailored outsourced finance department to meet the businesses and the owners' need, depending on what they need. As a group, we're a really proactive team. We look to understand the underlying business and how it works in order to support them to the best we can. This could be through, simple providing the compliance services of accounts and tax returns and stuff, to individual tax planning, to budgets and forecastings, to help with credit control or debt recovery, or it could be getting involved with managing one of our qualified contacts. So from a different business field, so that might be engaging with a HR specialist, health and safety, or IT, just to mention a couple there.
So can I just ask clarification for me? So you said about being with somebody. So would you actually put a sort of an accounts department into a business for them that was only tailored for that was only
Yeah,
theirs?
we could certainly visit their site, and we do that with a number of clients. But predominantly, it's a virtual
Yeah,
finance solution.
yeah,
And but we can do whatever. So for some clients, we actually we have access to their bank account and we make payments on their behalf. For payroll, we obviously calculate the payroll, and then for certain clients, we actually make payments for them on their behalf, so they haven't got to input them.
yeah.
Um, and ultimately, what we're looking to do, and our goal is to become that business's trusted partner and allow the business owner to focus on what they're good at, which tends to be what they're in business doing,
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
finance side of things.
yeah.
Um, and ultimately the goals for us are to sort of make sure we achieve business growth. We want them to grow and succeed. We want to minimize their tax burden, and that really is about being proactive with the business owner, understanding what they're thinking about, what they're gonna actions they may be taking. Because normally, if we know actions are happening in the future, we can prepare their accounts and their personal situation and
Absolutely.
stuff to minimize tax.
Yeah.
And also, what we're really hot on is having a quarterly meeting with the client, whether they really want it or not. And it isn't us preaching to them; it's really listening and understanding their business. And we want that meeting to educate them as well. So if they have a finance area they want to talk about, we will talk through it and educate them, because we
Mm.
don't want to be going over the same things every quarter. We
Yeah,
want
yeah,
come
yeah,
to us with questions or say, "Oh, I'd really love to know about this," or
yeah,
like that. So it's really a proactive approach to accounting, opposed to just taking your book at the end of the year and telling you how much tax you're going to pay.
yeah,
So
yeah. And
that's
I
our
think,
that's our focus.
yeah, I've had a couple of, I've been self-employed, oh, forever, and I've had a few accountants. One of them retired, the other one I retired them, and the next one retired. Yay! Is it something about me? I wonder. Um, I do for people's careers.
Yeah.
Anybody who knows and has listened to any of this knows that I'm a great believer in doing what you do in your business and letting other experts give their expertise so that you don't have to think about the legislation. You will know
Mm.
what's most up to date. I will not, and I could find out, but I need to know that I need to find out in the first place, and then I need to go and find out. So I'm a great believer in you get a good accountant who's proactive and becomes part of your business. It's somebody you go to for advice. So the 3 monthly meeting, you go for
Mm,
advice, you go for education, you go, and it's somewhere that, if after the 3 month meeting, suddenly something happens on the next month, you go, oh, I know who I need to talk to. And it's your accountant, usually, because
yeah,
they have a breadth. And that's what I'm hearing from you. So, what
yeah.
got you into accountancy?
Um, so I think it's probably a combination of things. So naturally, I'm a bit sad in that I love businesses, small businesses. What makes them grow? Why are people successful and others aren't?
Mhm.
I'm not a massive like fiction reader, but I love reading biographies of business people and business books and understanding how business works. So that's kind of, I'm just naturally curious in that front. I
Some
also,
would say nosy. Some would say
yeah,
nosy.
exactly.
Yeah. The more unkind amongst us
And
would say
yeah,
nosy. Yeah.
I guess secondly, I would definitely say, look, I really enjoy helping people. I like seeing people succeed.
Yeah.
We've got some cracking businesses on our book, and they are people who are really knowledgeable in their field, and with the right support and help, they've got a real good business and they can really do it. And then I guess thirdly, combining all that, I'm growing up, I was generally better at maths than English. I gained an accountancy qualification while I worked in the banks in London. I come from a commercially minded background, and all of those things kind of molded together into, what can I do? And it ended up in an accountancy practice, and naturally, with the focus on supporting businesses grow because of background and what I'm interested in. And I'm a massive believer that if you enjoy what you do, you
Yeah.
will do better at it. So, I've had jobs where I didn't enjoy it and I know I didn't give 100%. So, I really enjoy helping people grow. I really enjoy seeing people succeed, and I want to impart that knowledge. And if the businesses under it, my clients and the businesses in my client book grow, then I will grow because
Yeah.
they will need more services and more help. And that's what we want to focus on.
Yeah, it's
We
fantastic.
strive to
And
do.
and the thing is, I can hear your passion for all of that. And that's how it should be with whatever you're doing. It's, people, you can be unhappy and be in a job where they pay you a lot of money. If you're self-employed, I think you should be happy what you're doing, and not all the time, because that's not self-employment.
No.
However, it should be fun. Number one rule, people will know from me. My number one rule when I came into self-employment was it must be fun. Because if it wasn't fun, I could have gone back to the corporate world where they guaranteed me a pay every month and a,
Absolutely.
and a bonus and posh offices and all that stuff. So yeah, absolutely. I can hear the passion for it, and I absolutely agree with everything you're saying. So tell me, if I was looking for an accountant,
Mm.
um, what are the three things I should be thinking about? What are the three questions that you would expect me to want answering?
When if For me, I'm very particular. I think it's a struggle sometimes that as a business owner, and I see it across the business I've got, and I've been in that position when I started out. Is someone knocks at your door, either physically or virtually, and you think you see the pound signs to a certain extent, and you're like, I'm going to take that client on. I don't care. And it's only once you take that client on or you work with that job that you realize that actually I shouldn't have. And I think it does take a bit of time. So
Yeah,
what I like to see when someone's coming in is that they're open to 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 understanding that you might not want every client and you might
yeah,
not, and that's how I work. And I turn business down regularly because they're not a good fit with what I want to give them. And that's and being honest with people is part of it. And I think that's part of what I look for, in clients. And what if I was a if I was an aspiring business owner looking for an accountant, I think you need to be clear on what you want, because
yeah.
we're not
And
all the
that you
same.
like it, the person. You're going to do a lot of work, and an
100%.
account. My accountant knows an awful lot about my business, not as much
Yes.
as my financial advisor. I need to trust them, but I also need to like spending time with them.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
you're good, you spend a lot of time with your accountant getting
100%.
it
You need to
right.
know what you want from them. Do you just want them to do tell you how much tax to pay, because there's people who will do that, and that's what you will pay at the bottom end of the market.
Yeah.
If you want something that's more touchy-feely, then you obviously it is more expensive, but it might accelerate your growth quicker and get you to where you want to go. But it depends
Yeah.
on what you want from your
Yeah.
business and your accountant.
Yeah.
And I think from a you're spot on that your accountant will know a lot about you, right? Unless you are super organized and you've got your bills split amazingly, which I haven't actually seen anyone come to me perfectly split and thing. They will be trawling through your personal bank statement, seeing what you spend money on, because if they're doing their job properly, they will be looking for every possible expense that's within the legitimate legislation to
Mm.
reduce your tax burden with. And that's happening for us at the moment. We have a client who gives us his bank statement because we've asked him to dig out, and we're going through 300-page bank statement for the year because we know there's stuff in there that we can claim for him. But we're
Yeah.
also seeing his daughters and his son's addiction to either Sheen and PlayStation.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you see everything, right? And
Yeah.
you've got
Yeah.
to get
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
us to do our job better to the best of our ability and save you the most tax, then you've got to be up for that. So trusting someone and feeling like you get on with them is absolutely key to that thing. And that
And I
comes back
think
to what we want to be.
also, I think you've also mentioned your third one, which I would think are quite important, is about deciding what level of service they can offer. So it might be that you start as, well, can you just do this bit? And then as your money starts to grow, can you now start to do this bit and this bit and this bit?
Absolutely.
So I think I would say, I mean, you've obviously you don't know my three rules, but you've just done number two, which is I decided I would never do work with anybody that I didn't want to work with, and I would never do anything I didn't want to do with that person. So it's
Mm.
that thing about it's when you first start, you really want the money. However, you will earn the money if when you speak to them you don't like them for whatever
Yeah.
reason it is. They reminded you of that teacher that you
We
hated,
That's it.
or
We
ex-
Yeah, I'm one of the many business books I've read. I can't remember where I found it or what I did, but there's always the triangle. And if you
yeah,
think about the three-pointed triangle, it's quality, cost, and time.
yeah,
You can have as a buyer, you can have two of them. You can't have all three. They
yeah,
don't come all three. So,
yeah,
and that's wherever you go and whatever you're looking to buy, it's the same thing. You want time and quality? Well, it's going to cost you,
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the choice you got to make, and that's where I'm selective around my clients. I've got a few barriers. I'm happy to promote zero. I am zero only. There is no way that you come and work. I can work with you, or you can work with me if you're not going to be on zero, because that's the only system we support. And that's
yeah.
the first question that gets asked when people come. And straight away, if they're not interested in moving or coming onto zero, then they don't even get to the second question.
And I
Um,
love Zero. I was introduced to it with my new accountant a few years ago, and I I was so stressed about it. And somebody I know was a few months ahead of me, and she kept saying, "It's okay. Honestly, you will love it." And you would have to get it out of my cold, dead hands now. I just love
exactly.
Zero. I never have bits of paper. And you were saying about separating. I'm very organized. I have two purses. One's my purse and
Yep.
one's my business purse. And never the twain shall meet because I've got enough things going on without me wondering whether who did I pay that? No, no, two
Absolutely.
purses. It works for
Unfortunately, not
me.
everyone's as good as you.
No, well, I've said that in so many ways and so many occasions. So, anyway, moving on from that. So, tell me about what three bits of advice would you give to somebody who was setting up as a business person? Not necessarily from the accounting, but from experience
No,
of
no.
being
I mean, I
self-employed.
think if you're starting out in business, and I've been lucky, I'm lucky enough that one, I started my own business like you, but two, I've worked with a lot of startups and seen my fair share of fails,
Mm,
as we're going along. And you look back and could I have done more to help or not? But I think I'd have four bits of advice really. One, accept it's going to be tough.
Yeah.
right? I was speaking to a startup that's just come into his year end. He's got his year end in 3 days, and we've had our quarterly meetings with him, and the shock on his face when the realization of what it actually means to run a small business, you could see it, him be demoralized and think, oh my God. But we had our last call last week, and he said, look, it's all right now. He goes, I feel a bit more in control. I just understand that I've got two jobs. One is doing the work, and two is running my business.
Yes.
And I went, yeah, that's it, right? And once you understand that,
Yeah.
you know, that's the hardest hurdle to get over. That you're going to have to do the work initially because you're a one-man band, and then you're going to have to run your business and do all that comes with it.
Yeah.
The second tip would be keep good records. Not only will keeping good records please your accountant, it will save you money, because if you haven't got the records, you can't claim it, and you will cost you money. And there's no point in you working really hard, because we just said you're going to do that, to give the tax man more than you need to give him legitimately.
Yes.
So
Yes.
100% good record, contract, have you got terms and conditions with your clients? Are you protected? Stuff like that. Again, I think this comes back to point one. It's going to be tough. Understand the difference between working on your business and in your business.
Yes.
On your business, growing it, marketing it, branding it, generating leads. In it, actually doing the work, right? Yeah. The quicker you come out of working in your business to work on your business will be a successful business. And that's the bit we really try and support and get you to. Yeah. And then fourth, 100%, if you're a new business, 110% network.
Yeah.
Right? Warm referrals are so much stronger than picking up the phone, cold calling, hoping you hit someone on social media, hope you hit someone with an email, right? But don't go to networking unprepared. Clear, concise elevator pitch. 20 to 30 seconds that tell me exactly what you want to do, what you do, and if you can, what you don't want, right? So I'm JBen Finance. I'm a full service accounting practice, but I specialize in supporting ambitious business owners.
Yes.
I don't want self-employed people with bags of receipts.
Yeah.
I want ambitious owners that want to grow. Contact details. How are you going to give them to people? Business cards is the obvious one, but make sure it looks good. Make sure you get it checked. Make sure you know it's right. And then the other big one is follow-ups. So if you've got people's cards, follow up, one-to-ones, build your network, build your strength. A 30-second conversation in a room of 80 people at a networking event, you might get remembered. But if you take that card and say, oh, do you fancy a virtual coffee? Do you fancy a coffee? Stronger relationship straight away. Select those people that you think can help you the best. So don't think, oh, I've met that guy and he might want my services. Think about people who can provide you multiple referrals. So for me, financial advisor, great person to get to know, because they have multiple clients that can potentially need my services. Mortgage advisor, same way. So they're the people, think strategically around who you want to connect with and who you want to give your time. Because again, working on your business is normally going to happen in your spare time, and that's when you want to be most effective and most productive. So there would be 4 tips.
And you obviously have read all my books, seminars, and everything. I mean, I would add one other bit to the networking, and that is say who you're looking for.
Yes.
If you say the words everybody and anybody, I personally want to slap you because you've just wasted an opportunity. I want to know, and this may change, but I want to know that today, at the moment, you're looking for, say, a financial advisor. But it might be, a particular financial advisor that you have never been in. So if it's that that particular one, say that one. Because otherwise, if you say everybody and anybody, I have to work out who does that mean for you? And I'm too busy working out who that is for me to take any time. So, but yeah, thank you. That was, and it's funny because we're a small business, but I don't accept every application that comes over my desk because if you're very salesy, you're not going to fit in with the ethos of EBN. And cannot, in good conscience, take your money off you, knowing that you're going to have to completely change the way you work, and that's going to take a long time, or maybe not. I don't know. People will comment and obviously tell me that the reality of that. So we've done lots of work. What do you do in your spare time? What's your passion for
Well,
that?
other than reading books and tax manuals, no, I, I enjoy my sport. Although participating now, the aches and pains of getting old kind of catching up on me as I've gone over the 40 mark. And then also, I'm lucky enough to coach my son's football team, which they've been pretty successful, and they really a good bunch of boys. But they're coming under 13, under 14s now, so they're more difficult to handle. They seem to have a mind of their own now, which
Yeah, it's good to watch, but not necessarily to be involved in.
yeah, at this point,
Yeah.
it's getting harder and harder.
Yeah.
Everyone's developing.
Yeah, good luck with that. So thank you. This has been fascinating. Thank you so much, James. So right, so for everybody else, hasn't that been fantastic? And have you learned something? Because I certainly have. So what can you do to help me? I can hear you saying, well, you could watch this to the end, and tell your friends and subscribe, comment, as particularly if you've seen something and you thought, oh, nah, I don't agree with that. Tell me that. That'd be lovely. And of course, like. And what's the other thing you can do? Well, you could come back next time, because otherwise it will just be me. And if you're not there, then I'm talking to myself. So thank you for your time. Thank you, James. I'll give you an opportunity to say goodbye.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching. As Glenys said, subscribe, like, share.
Yay! I love him. Right. Have fun, everyone. See you soon. Bye.
Cheers.